What's up, guys? Here with you with FC Wonderkid, episode 25. Here with my guy, Fredson. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing very good. I just want to let everyone know that you see I'm wearing a French jersey. Okay. I'm not rooting for anyone in particular in this Nations League final. This is 98, right? This is 1998.
Mm-hmm.
But man, speaking of 1998 was history for France.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a whole lot of things that
We
two
got a
two
whole lot of history
awards
that's coming. It's
exactly.
up and coming.
Look at
So
you with a
our
segue. Yeah.
it's true. And I want to say that retro kit is so cool. I would cop that one.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
I
Yeah.
would cop that one. That reminds me of Thierry and Zidane.
It's,
So I like that. So the first topic, guys, is the Copa Trophy and the Ballon d'Or. So the Copa Trophy, like we have a good list of nominees, don't we, Preston?
yeah, yeah. It's like the most deep that I've ever seen it. You look at this 10 and you're like, how this is just bonkers in terms of how much talent is in this 10. You want me to list them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
2021
right.
Copa Trophy nominees. You've got Mason Greenwood from Manchester United, Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, Pedri from Barcelona, Jeremy Doku from Rennes, Ryan Gravenberg from Ajax, Jamal Musiala from Bayern, Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, Jude Bellingham from Dortmund, Gio Reyna from Dortmund, and I saved the best for last for you, buddy. Nuno
It's the
Mendes.
man himself, right?
Yeah.
Noon Minch. Like it's first of all, I'm so glad that we started this project in a phase that saying that Noon Minch is gonna be normalized with Alfonso Davis was bold at the time. And now it's not bold, it's normal, guys, okay? So but I'd like to start this Copa Trophy talk with who I think is going to win.
Yeah.
And I think Pedri is a winner with this
Yeah.
one. It's for two reasons: the amount of games he played and the fact he was the best under 21 player in the Euros. Okay? Just the fact that he was awarded that, automatically he wins the Golden Boy this year, in my opinion. And in an extraordinary fashion at 18, leading Barcelona. Okay? So I don't think he'll be the best player out of these 10 long term. I feel like some of these we're going to mention forward that I feel like is going to be better long term players. But Pedri right now, he had that season to be the Golden Boy. So 2018, Mbappe became the Golden Boy winner. 2019, De Ligt. And 2021, I feel like Pedri's going to win it.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't see any reason to even argue the fact. I mean, he became indispensable for a Barcelona midfield going through a very tough time. And actually, he had some time with Messi too, soaked up as much as he could,
yeah.
and then he became completely indispensable for a very upstart Spanish team. And so I
Mm-hmm.
don't see, everyone else here is phenomenal. I mean, we've
Mm-hmm.
talked in the past about the 18-year-olds in this bunch,
True.
but I just can't see my way past Pedri here. And I'll tell you what, I kind of disagree about him potentially not having, the highest ceiling or him maybe not being the best here. If you get, just imagine this, if you get Xavi as
Yep.
the next Barcelona boss, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he takes Pedri under his wings.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm
that
thinking
automatically
more,
takes the ceiling
he
up here.
takes Gavi.
Or
He
and
takes
Gavi,
Gavi.
and Gavi too.
He takes Gavi under his wing after that Italian game. He takes Gavi.
Yeah,
So Pedri, Gavi, Xavi, it all rhymes. It's so beautiful.
it is.
So
Well,
it's yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, but just consider the depth here that we're talking
yeah.
about, because I'd like to say I'd be absolutely pissed if Pedri didn't win. We all know he likely through his body of work deserves to win this, and he's already won the
Mm-hmm.
Golden Boy. Um, but just look at these names. I mean, if Jude
Mm-hmm.
Bellingham won this, I would not be angry at all.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and if Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz, either one of them won this, I also
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit angry about the Musiala, but Florian Wirtz has done some amazing things in leadership for Leverkusen. Won the U21 Euros with
Yep.
Germany. Obviously, not the same as winning the Euros or getting
No.
close to winning the Euros, but what it comes down to here is I don't know if this we'd have to do a whole lot of forensics to see if this is the deepest 10. What is it? Is Copa U21? Yeah, U21.
Yeah.
But
It's a pretty steep list of. I would want to say this about the Copa Trophy.
Mhm.
40% of these Wonder Kids come from the Bundesliga. Okay, that for me speaks levels about the quality of development in that league. It's not just Dortmund now. Okay, Bayern Munich is developing Musiala, and Leverkusen is developing Wirtz, just like they developed Kai Havertz. Okay, so I think the Bundesliga itself deserves a special shout out. And of course, I said it. Dortmund has 2 players in this list.
Yes.
Gio Reyna and Jude Bellingham. I feel like Jude Bellingham is the player that's going to be the top tier player in the list, like long term. I feel like Jude Bellingham is going to be the best. Next to Nunmensch, because Nunmensch is going to be the best left back in the world. Okay, I'm really hopeful on that too, since day one. Yeah. So, I agree with you. In 5 years' time, we look at this list and we say we got a lot of quality ballers here, and certified, because now players are playing younger and they're proving themselves at a younger age. Pedri 18, Musiala 18, Wirtz 18, all 18. You're right, Breton. This is a phenomenal day and age we live now.
It really is, and I gotta say, if you're gonna go 40% is and this is easy math, right? 10 nominations, 4 from the Bundesliga, 3 are from England, and man, you look at that and you can't get pretty damn excited for England, and that's Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham, and wait, who the heck am I missing? The top goal scorer out of the 10. And that's Mason Greenwood, right? And, we may have slandered him a little bit last week. I know. I don't mean it as slander. Nobody does. But, we may have critiqued him a little bit last week in terms of our start bench sells. But, hey, England, phenomenal future. It's just wonderful to see. And I'll tell you what, Gio Reyna being on there, okay, he's coming back from injury right now. Nuno Mendes being on there for you. I think somebody at France Football might actually follow FC Wonderkid. What do you think?
You never know. But he's got good taste and he knows talent. If that's the case, so I'd like to finish the Copa Trophy with a player you mentioned, Saka. Yeah. Okay, I feel like in terms of talent, I put Greenwood ahead of Saka, but. The fact that Saka assumed the responsibility at Arsenal and he's proving himself at a weekly basis, okay, in a team, not a top team right now. Arsenal is struggling itself, in my opinion, and he is the iconic 7 in that team, okay? So I would love to speak more about Saka, and I know sometimes I should speak more about Saka because he really is one of the top underrated talents at the highest level in my opinion.
Yeah, and what I love about it, and it's a great shout because I feel like we haven't said positive things about him in the last, actually we haven't talked about him much in the last several weeks, but he's also the type of kid that you tell him he's going to play like right back today, he's there. You tell him he's going to play, I don't know, goalkeeper, he'll probably say, okay, I'll try my best. Like he's just that type of player that he is a massive, this is obvious to say, but just a massive part of that Arsenal rebuild. And I love the kid. I think it's great. And it's a test. He deserves this for sure.
Putting the 7 like on Saka is like, it's not, I'm not going to say equivalent on the 10 on Fati, but it's a big responsibility, So there you go. So with the Copa Trophy, I think we've handled it well. So Ballon d'Or. Oh, and please comment down below who do you think is going to win the Copa Trophy, okay? So that'd be a huge help. Now, Ballon d'Or. I'll start Ballon d'Or just to end with the youth.
Sure.
Come on. Pedri's nominated for the Ballon d'Or 2 at 18.
It's crazy.
That is insane. Like, how? How is this kid being nominated for everything? So...
I think when you play 150 games or something in a season, you automatically get nominated
with quality.
Yes.
And he plays them with quality at 18. So, deserves to be nominated too, I guess, right?
Yeah, and, another young buck in there, Phil Foden, right? But we can save him for a little bit because I got one thing I got to clear up here, and I actually do want to hear your opinion. And we purposely didn't talk about this previous to this. But Ballon d'Or, how is it only Robert Lewandowski from Bayern? Okay, I get it. They didn't. Germany didn't do phenomenal. Well, Lewandowski's on Poland, so there you go. That kind of defeats that whole thing. But he did score 40+ goals. But how is a Joshua Kimmich or a Thomas Mueller not nominated here?
Preach, Breton.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Preach.
So it's just for Kimmich, his fingerprints or his footprints, whatever the hell you want to call it, is on everything, whether it's German or it's Bayern. He is just the quintessential Swiss Army knife. Anywhere you go, he's a leader, and the kid's 26, 25.
I agree with you. You're with that Kimmich, and I'm going to say Kimmich and Chiesa should be nominated.
Okay.
Come on. Chiesa's not nominated. And we were talking, I was saying, before the pod, you're putting Sterling ahead of Chiesa this season. I ain't putting that. I ain't having that. I feel like Chiesa should be nominated ahead of Sterling in that list, okay? And Kimmich, you're right on the money. That is a mandatory pick. That is a mandatory pick.
It is. And I know, winning from a Sterling perspective, I guess winning the Premier League obviously is, kind of a big deal. And I get it. You got benched by Foden and some other things, but he also did score 3 goals. Sterling did score 3 goals in Euro 2020, had a pretty good assist at one point. I know he didn't play up to some people's standards there either. But ultimately, okay, he was great for club, great for country. The Chiesa absence, phenomenal for Italy. Phenomenal from Juventus, but Juventus just wasn't, I guess, up to snuff, right, with it from a team perspective. But I got to tell you, I am so happy, and I get it. This is more so kind of ceremonial, symbolic, but the nomination of Simone Kjaer, I love it.
Of course,
it warms my heart. Yeah, it warms my heart. But let's be honest. I mean, he was absolutely vital, right?
That's true.
In more ways than one for Denmark. And they ended up making it to the semifinals. It was a very, very, easy, not easy to get out of the groups, but pretty damn easy to get out of the groups. But he just, his leadership, obviously what he did amidst the whole Christian Eriksen, that scariest moment for them. It warms my heart to see him nominated. And he's also a hell of a footballer too.
He is. But you said it was easy, but I think the fact that Eriksen gets injured at the start and they managed to make even a better tournament, I think this is not too bold. If Eriksen was there, I don't know if mentally they would be such a strong team. Okay, I feel like that really had an effect on how they played, and I feel that when that happened, people were already putting them, oh, no, they're going to lose. They're not going to go through. So they were underdogs, and there was a comeback story right there.
Yeah, it was a fight or flight instinct, and they stepped up. And guess what? I'm going to throw out a whole lot of Danish propaganda right now, okay? Have you looked at the standings in World Cup qualifying for Denmark?
No.
Without Eriksen? Okay, 7 wins, 0 losses. I think it's 26 goals scored, 0 conceded.
They're very good at home. That's what I have to remember about the Danish. Playing at home, they're not an easy team to beat. So, but going back to the Ballon d'Or talk, okay? I saw something in the news, okay, and I want to mention it because Neymar is nominated, right?
Yeah.
For the Ballon d'Or, of course. So did you see the news that Neymar said that he is going to retire? This is going to be his last World Cup. He's going to not have any more World Cups at the age of 30. Okay? That man is competing with the legacy of Ronaldinho. That's done. That's done. If you don't go to one more at least, is Cristiano Ronaldo going to retire after Neymar?
Yeah, this sounds like a messy retirement.
This is pretty. I feel that's scary, Breton, honestly. At 30, saying no more. To be honest, if you look at the shape of Neymar, He's in good shape, but he's not in elite like Lewandowski, Ronaldo. Even Messi is in better shape, in my opinion,
Okay.
than Neymar.
We
So
body
maybe
shaming
he's
them.
considering that at the work rate of modern football, Neymar won't be the elite player at 32, 33.
That's interesting.
Won't be. When I
didn't
say
see that.
elite, top 10.
Yeah.
Yo, like this. I wanted it to mention this because that was pretty. Because I wanted it to say Ballon d'Or Neymar un día. I wanted to say that, okay? And seeing this guy saying that he won't play any more World Cups, that put me sad. I'll be honest. So
Yeah, I don't blame you. It'd be a sad day for all of us because he's absolutely wonderful to watch, regardless
Yeah.
of who you support. It just yeah. I don't know. But to transition away from that, well, not really. We don't need to transition away from that because Messi came out, even though Messi might still be, likely is, understandably, the odds-on favorite to win the Ballon d'Or. He came out and who did he say that should be?
he said Mbappe, Lewandowski, and Neymar.
Yeah.
Not even Ronaldo there. And I wanted to say this. I had this thought during the week.
Uh-huh.
If Ronaldo was at PSG right now, he'd have more than 5 goals.
Probably.
He'd have more than 5 goals. I guarantee you that. Okay? And if he didn't have those 5 goals, people would be saying, Ronaldo doesn't play in Ligue 1, doesn't score goals. No. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well.
This is a thought that I had. Okay? This is a quick thought that I had during the week.
Well, you're talking about saltiness towards Ronaldo. I got to tell you, I saw only, and I understand why, but I saw only one goalkeeper on there, right, on that short list, and we understand why, right? He absolutely heroic for Italy and winning the Euro title. But don't you think Jan Oblak should have been nominated?
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
agree with you.
I mean,
I agree with you.
25 goals conceded in 38 La Liga games last year, 18 clean sheets. The guy probably, I don't know the actual metrics on it, but he probably saves more goals. I don't know what is the dang metric where it's like he's a plus 13, right? He's absolutely just an amazing one-on-one shot stopper. He's so consistent. I think this is that like lesser known country issue, right? He's never going to really play in the Euro 2020, nor are they ever going to have a Euro, nor are they ever going to have a team that competes for it. So if you're taking kind of two sides of the coin, nation and club, Oblak has been consistently one of the best goalkeepers, if not the best goalkeeper in the world, for a long period of time. And he won the flipping La Liga title last season.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it. And if Oblak played at Real Madrid, everybody would be mentioning Oblak, saying, "Oh, he's got more games than goals suffered. Oblak, he's like an alien." Like Oblak, I agree with you. Like,
and it's not
unreal.
It's not taking anything away from Donnarumma. I mean, let's be honest.
No.
But I would imagine Donnarumma obviously isn't going to win the Ballon d'Or, but he's probably going to win the Yashin Trophy, which is the goalkeeper of the year, right? You would think if he's nominated for Ballon d'Or and he doesn't win that, it's a little weird.
He will.
But Jan Oblak, man, I mean, come on.
I wouldn't take Donnarumma, though, off the list, so.
No.
Okay, so I wouldn't take Donnarumma to... Like I wouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't. So, but
no,
I would like to.
I take Phil Foden off the list. Sorry.
Well, that should be mentioned too. Foden and Mount. The truth is, they were both leading Man City and Chelsea respectively, and I love the fact that they're here in this list because they were the catalyst for those teams going to the Champions League final. So Mason Mount and Foden deserve respect for that, and Mount is a special player, okay? Like in terms of things, I don't want to go too ahead because in the start bench still we're gonna talk about Mount. Sure. So, but I would like to finish the Ballon d'Or talk on my end with Mo Salah and Benzema. Those two are there, and I'd like to say currently they're the top 3 talk in form, okay, of right now in performances.
Yeah.
Benzema looks unstoppable. And mind me to say that the Benzema-Mbappe link-up, if they were playing this season, maybe Real Madrid would have a Champions League. Okay? With how ridiculous it would be. Because I feel like Mbappe, mentally, No, I don't feel. He said it to Fabrizio. Mentally, like, not to Fabrizio. Fabrizio posted that, like, Mbappe was going to Real Madrid and he wanted PSG to be compensated financially to replace him. He said that. So, with all this, like, I feel like the link up next season, Benzema, Mbappe is going to put Mbappe in the top 3 scenario in the world. And yeah, possibly he'll win the Ballon d'Or afterwards.
Yeah, and it's funny that Mbappe says that, right? Because let's be honest, PSG thinks about it a different way. It's a lot of money. I get it. Yeah. It's a lot of money, but PSG would rather have the damn Champions League final, right? They'd rather have the title, and then let Mbappe go for free because we all know what that means, right? So it is a little bit interesting that
for PSG, it must be annoying that like the coach that you let go, Tuchel, wins the Champions League and it's not with you, and in like the same season.
Yeah,
like that must be so annoying for the PSG management. Okay, like that they must be thinking this nonstop, honestly. And Poch won't win it, I think, too. So that's a whole other conversation. So comment down below, guys. Who do you think is going to win the Ballon d'Or, okay? Like the video. And, yeah, subscribe if you can. I have to mention this, okay? I gotta improve on these skills.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. It's absolutely vital to the growth of this channel. So please do. But I got to ask you before we move on. I do. Has your thinking changed on who you expect to win Ballon d'Or?
No, Lewandowski. Lewandowski should win it because, like, the year prior, he should have won it, and this year he should win it too. So, it's Lewandowski. No. Não posso ouvir Messi. Nah.
All right, man. Well, you better prepare yourself for Messi to win it because.
Oh man, you think the Copa America is going to over Lewandowski? Like, it fits me so.
I mean, I get Lewandowski. Hey. You can't carry Poland to anywhere, and again, that's another type of a thing where I think it's the smaller nation type of scenario when you're looking at those two things. He obviously overcompensated for that by scoring boatloads of goals, but Messi wasn't too far behind, and pretty much did everything and pulled every string for Barcelona that he could. And oh, by the way, he ended a drought. So it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. But I would not be angry if Lewandowski finally got his Ballon d'Or. Not be angry.
He ended a drought. Like, I'll be honest, Breton. If he finished his career, Messi, and didn't win anything with Argentina, that'd be more embarrassing.
Oh, sure.
Okay, than ending the drought. If he won a Copa America. Okay, I mean, good. Ronaldo won the Euro. Good. Well, that's how I see things. Like, and for me, the Euro is more difficult. Okay, and it's not even a debate there too. So, like, there you go. We could go with the Ronaldo Messi debate. Like, that is a live itself and a podcast itself and its own. So, next topic.
Let's move on. Well, we do have to, before we move on, CR7, man. Didn't he just become the all-time leading cap winner for European footballers? I think.
And he won the Premier League Player of the Month, Ronaldo. Okay? He won it. Yeah, I don't see Messi winning the League on Player of the Month.
First, he's got to play more than one game, right?
First, he got to score in League.
But I got to say, I actually I'd never even seen on paper. I'd never seen on paper how many goals, or looked it up for some reason, how many goals Ronaldo's scored for Portugal. But I think it's 181 caps, 112 goals. So that's pretty damn impressive. And I think on one other point that I have to get across here, he has, over the last 10 years, he has not gone a year without winning a trophy. Do you think that is threatened this year at United?
Yep. That is threatened with Oli. Yeah. And Ronaldo must be going bonkers with that.
Yeah.
He must be going bonkers with that. You're mentioning the stat that he's sleeping on, but not winning a trophy. That is true. Like, he must be going bonkers. Like, that's his vice. Not winning trophies, he goes bonkers. That's what I know about him. Like, there you go. So, the next topic, it's a big one, okay? Like, I'm having a normal week, like, seeing the European games, and what happens?
Yeah.
What happens? Newcastle becomes the world's most richest club in the world.
Here
okay, and it's no cap. This is no cap. like Newcastle fans, they know. They like the owner that bought Newcastle has more money than all the Prem owners combined. And it's not even close.
No.
It's not even close.
It's almost sickening in a good or a bad way, whichever way you want to think about it. But
we're talking in a football way. Like, it's for the football stands. Like, Newcastle are gonna look elite. Like, I just wanted to start here saying, the new director of Newcastle comes saying that every aspect of the club is going to improve. Yeah. Okay, every aspect. The academy is going to get a load of money. I'm sure the stadium is going to get a load of money. The events around the stadium, everything is going to improve with this.
That's
because truth is, in the corporate world that we live in, okay, a person with 320 billion pounds, I don't even know how much money that guy has, but more than 300 billion pounds, okay? Yeah. This guy is going to change Newcastle, the city, everything, okay? And the first thing is, in January, I'm going to go bold. A big signing is coming to Newcastle. It's got to happen, in my opinion, okay? Because it's don't. I know you're gonna talk about the KPR. We can't compare. Okay, we can't compare because this is one of the richest men in the world. Okay, and the truth is, his image is on the line with this. Okay, and he doesn't want to be the bad owner of a club and not succeeding. He wants to be linked with success.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, I obviously don't think that people get into this lightly, although let's be honest, when you spend 300 million pounds on Newcastle, I'm sure his expectation is in 5 years' time, it's going to be worth 600 million pounds. But like you mentioned, that's like a drop in the bucket for somebody that is worth, or a fund that is as large as that particular fund is. But I just have to say, before we even enter into, say, potential transfers and fun stuff like that, I am happy most of all. And this is with a grain of salt, because there are issues that we could talk about for a really long period of time in terms of why some Premier League owners are up in arms about this, whatever, right? Yeah. But I'm really happy for a new lease on life, or a new lease on footballing life. Like, Newcastle lives for this team, right? Newcastle upon Tyne lives for this team. And it is just very nice to see them get a chance to step into this type of a stage. Now, you got all this money. It depends on what you throw it at. And it encourages me that he came out, or she came out, the director came out and mentioned that all investments, to the whole club is going to be pertinent, right? It's not just dropping 190 million on some whatever Mauro Icardi or somebody like that. But if upgrade that stadium, supercharge the academy, get back names or build names like Alan Shearer, like Paul Gascoigne, like Les Ferdinand, Andy Cole, who came through there. I know they didn't build all of them, but they gave them all outlets to be superstars, and see what happens. See what happens, because it was only 20 years ago, maybe longer than that. 20 years, 94. Yeah, less than 20 years. No, almost 30 years. God, I'm old. It was only a while back that they were one of the top teams in the UK. Yeah, okay.
It's true. I remember when I was a kid, seeing like the FIFA 08, FIFA 07 budget that Newcastle had. They had one of the biggest budgets in England at the time.
Yeah,
and even when they got relegated, like, they were like really good team to get players because they had the budget and they were relegated. Yeah. So I have good memories with that club. But now this is the situation on steroids, okay? Because we have never seen this happen in football. We have never seen this happen in football. And I'll be honest, Breton, the people that are coming to this club, okay, from the manager to the players, I feel like it's going to be the city. I'm sounding Brazilian even when I say it. Yeah. The city situation on steroids. They got David Silva. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna come with the signings. So they got a David Silva. Okay, City at the time, which was a player at Valencia that he was one step ahead of becoming a really good world-class player, just like Aguero, another one. So I feel like they have to highlight the one step ahead players that to have to scout. And if I were Newcastle, I would get Chouameni. Okay, Chouameni for me is a player that would accept a good project. Okay, a project that long term will be very successful. Okay, and yeah, he's the perfect player to come to the Prem, and he's one step ahead to become world class. Okay, in my opinion. So Chouameni, but most importantly, if they're signing all these players, they gotta get the coach. Okay, so I did see some news about Conte going to Newcastle, and if Antonio Conte goes to Newcastle, boy oh boy, in 2 years' time, Newcastle is ahead of Tottenham.
Yeah, here's what I can't say about that. No, can you see him coaching in the north of England? Right?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I can see him. 20 million a year. I can see him coaching in the.
Well, that's true. If you're throwing 20 million a year at him, yeah. But who knows? I absolutely have that down as that's the person you got to go for. I know Newcastle papers have mildly confirmed the fact that he is interested, whatever that means, right? But I do like your Aurelian Chouameni shout out because he's somebody you can build a midfield around. I do believe that Miguel Almiron should be a part of the Newcastle 11 moving forward, and to see a Chouameni Almiron moving forward together would be cool until they, continue to build around. But here's another one for you. Here's an interesting one.
Tell me.
You need a goalkeeper, right? I mean, they have serviceable goalkeepers. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Like Martin Dubravka, when he's not injured, he's mildly inconsistent, but he's pretty good. And that's not even, I think, who is.
It's replaceable, That's for a world-class team.
But you want a big name. You're probably thinking of this too. You go out and you get Keylor Navas. That
is a very good pick for Newcastle.
I just don't see any reason not to.
Good pick. I like that pick. Newcastle, that's a perfect pick to get Keylor Navas for that goalkeeping position.
Yeah.
Right on the money. I like that one. I like that one. He offers experience to the defense. He offers consistency and world-classing ability at goalkeeper, and an affordable rate. He'll want money more as salary. So I like that.
The fact that he's sitting on the bench at PSG is a travesty. Get him to a proper club where he can spend the rest of his career being the star of his own show. I mean, he just, from a footballing perspective, we've all seen enough of Keylor Navas to know that he deserves a whole lot more, right? So, and frankly, okay, if you can't get Navas, you have the international, all those roster rules around it. You have Brexit, all that stuff you have to think about. If you can't get Navas, go out and get Dean Henderson.
That would cost them, though.
Oh,
that would cost them. That would cost them, though.
Especially since Arsenal drove up the price for the English goalkeeping market. But if you need a goalkeeper that's English, that needs to be starting day in, day out, that's Dean Henderson.
That would cost them. I don't know about that one, but I think the Keylor Navas would be a good scenario.
Could be.
So when you spoke about Miguel Almiron, Joey Willock. These are two players that need to accept, we need to stay at this team, okay?
Yeah.
Because in 3-4 years' time, the salary of the team player at Newcastle is going to be maybe double, okay? Just to be in that team. So Miguel Almiron and Joey Willock and every single player that has a chance to stay there, that's their mentality right now. And I'm sorry for Steve Bruce. Okay, because he's going to leave. There's no chance. There's no chance, Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce has no chance to stay at Newcastle. Okay, so I just wanted to mention 3 wingers, okay, that I feel like would be really good signings. So Alan Saint-Maxime on one side, and one of these 3 in the other, for me, would be a good thing to have at Newcastle. Anthony at Ajax would be 40 to 50 million. Okay, very good player and a solid investment for the future. Moussa Diaby, Bayer Leverkusen player, in my opinion, very overlooked. Newcastle could go ahead and sign him too.
Yeah.
And the other player that I have here is Luis Diaz of Porto. Okay, Luis Diaz of Porto is going to be his last season in Liga BWin. So Newcastle would be a team that would pay the buck. Okay, so I like that too. And to finalize, not a winger, why not get Donny van de Beek?
Yeah.
He wants. I saw Everton considering Donny van de Beek. So why not Newcastle? I think Conte would do magic with that guy. So let's see.
What about? I mean, if you're bringing in names like that from a winger perspective, and I think you and I are both in agreement. Yeah, Saint-Maximin needs to stay. Imagine him running riot, right, with proper support. He's the second best dribbler in the Premier League right now at this time, and he's the second, I think, in big chances created. Whatever that means compared to key passes, I never know. But what do you think about this? What about Conte bringing in a guy like, if it's Conte, Mauro Icardi? Okay, I mentioned him earlier as a joke, and now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like,
no, it's not a joke because he at PSG he's limited. His time is limited at PSG. Yeah. He's not going to be the guy at PSG, in my opinion. Okay, like PSG are for sure finding alternatives to the Mbappe leaving situation. Okay, and Icardi isn't the one that they're going to stay with. That would be. I don't think that would be good for Newcastle personally.
But there's history.
Okay, but it'd be. I don't think Icardi, I don't like him too much, I'll be honest too, Brenton. I feel like the work rate and like the Icardi that I once saw when he was a developing player in his early ages, more hungry, a better overall player in terms of work rate. That's what I judge him now. He doesn't have the same work rate, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think PSG has softened him, and not playing every day has softened him because it's also affected his Argentinian career, right?
But imagine this, Breton. Imagine this. Like, what if we normalize the fact that if in 2 years' time, let's say this season happens, next season happens, and the third, what if Newcastle go in for a Harry Kane? Alan Shearer is an iconic legend, English striker legend, okay?
Yep.
Why wouldn't they go for an Harry Kane afterwards? In terms of marketing, this would be the perfect signing for the ownership.
Yeah.
Okay? People would say, these guys are legit. They're getting Harry Kane. People would see Newcastle straight away ahead of Tottenham. If that happened, you know? So I don't know. I'm just putting it out there because maybe in 2-3 years we're looking back at this and say, look, I said it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really think about that, but that could very well be a thing. Alan Shearer is arguably, not even arguably, he is the most famous player to ever play for the Magpies. So that's an interesting shout. But until then, I think Icardi is actually pretty good. If you can get Inter form out of him over time, and it would take it. I think he had 110 goals in like 180 games for Inter. So
true. And what if like they sign a free player like Rudiger or even a Pogba? This is bold. This is very bold.
Now we're playing straight Football Manager, man. We are
like Raiola. Raiola will be loving having meetings with Newcastle at the next season. They'll be running
out of Newcastle. Yeah, sorry.
What club? What players would you want, Newcastle? Like offering the whole list. Yeah, that's what I think he'll do. Honestly.
I'm sure he's got another roster of Eredivisie talents to throw out there.
Even putting Iateren would be good at Newcastle.
Yeah, I had one other name that just kind of jumped out at me because he's been playing a little bit, I guess, as of late. One of the biggest mistakes that Barcelona's ever made, right? Barcelona needs cash, correct? Right? They also need to shed wage bill. Would it make sense in any capacity, because it would be kind of an investment, to bring in somebody like Philippe Coutinho?
Ooh, Coutinho. It does make sense because they won't mind the salaries. Okay, Coutinho would be a good signing in my opinion, and he has something to redeem himself. He has a story, a redemption story.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone is judging Coutinho not wrongly. The truth is he's slacking. Okay, he's slacking at Barcelona. I can't defend him. So I would love to see him redeeming himself at Newcastle. That would be a very good scenario. So any players, guys, that you feel should go that would be good for Newcastle, put in the comment section down below. We will gladly answer. And yeah, like and subscribe to the video. That'd be a huge help too.
Yeah. So I do have to throw one other thing out there because we're forgetting that Newcastle did make the top signing of all signings already previous to this whole takeover being announced. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Joey Willow.
No. This is more of a tongue-in-cheek thing. They actually
Okay.
signed a 19-year-old named Santiago Munoz.
Uh,
Yeah. Do you remember that? That is the best signing. I mean, that had me hook, line, and sinker. I became a Newcastle fan right away, even though he's playing for the reserves.
That's crazy.
He's actually a Mexican American player, just like Santi from Goal the Dream Begins. And wouldn't that be amazing if you bring in all these stars at Newcastle
True.
and Santiago Munez makes his debut around them all? It's like taking goal 2 and mashing it with goal 1, and there you go. You got your
real life
Galactica.
story. It's the
it.
real life Football Manager story like scenario. Like even
Yeah.
the movies, the owners replicated.
Santi.
Like there you go. So topic number 3, we're gonna go with a conservative topic, and it's the highlights. Okay, overall highlights, Wonderkids highlights in European football this week. So I'd like to start here with a player that I see a PSG should find interesting. Okay, and that is Alexander Isak. Okay, with a bangerino. Okay, a banger that a top player only does. Okay, that Isak showed and demonstrated for Sweden. Okay, I am surprised. How is this man still in the same spot? Vlahovic and Isak is embarrassing. How no one gets them.
Yeah.
Okay, even Arsenal. Like I wanted to highlight him in the European highlights because that goal. Future of Sweden.
And I have a little stat in there because I wanted to mention him as well. He's scoreless so far in La Liga, I think. I'm pretty sure for Real Sociedad. But Real Sociedad has started strong again this year in La Liga. But the last year, he was scoreless in the first 5 games, even maybe 6 games for Real Sociedad. And then we all know what it ended, right? He ended up putting 17 in, I think, in La Liga. So I think maybe that banger. Or what'd you call it? A bangerino? That's a new one.
That was inspired. I don't know what I said.
That was inspired. But I think some Sociedad fans are probably looking at that and saying, all right, bring it back here. We're ready. Let's go. Because they started the season hot. If they can keep that going, this is the type of the year in La Liga where, okay, maybe Real Madrid. I don't know. But it's going to be pretty close at the top. And who knows? Maybe Sociedad can have a inspired year led by none other than Alexander Isak.
There you go. That could be the case. Yeah, and the other player I really wanted to mention in the European highlights, it's Gavi. Okay, Gavi bossed that Italian midfield at 17. I was saying here, Luis Enrique went so bold getting Gavi, but oh my days, like I shut up now. Like Gavi, he proved me wrong. Okay, I was being silly. Gavi dominated that midfield. So I really wanted to mention this because we might have another world-class... No, we not might. We have another world-class talent at Barcelona. Okay?
Youngest ever in, in amazing football history to debut for them. I mean, he played well. He absolutely played well. It was a constant nuisance. He was all over the place. But come on, let's be honest. The real star of that show, Ferran Torres. I also have to throw out another Real Sociedad star, Mikel, I'm going to screw this up.
Oyarzabal.
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 Yeah, there you go. Him, right. He looks like a Bond villain when you see him on camera, but the guy can ball. Oyarzabal can ball. And he's been fun to watch. A lot of people like to call him a penalty merchant, and sure, he's good at them, so he takes them for his club, and if he happens to get a bunch. But he's been really pretty consistent for Real Sociedad over the last few years, and it's great.
He does very good runs.
Yeah.
Very good runs.
Yeah.
Like the Odegaard combination with Oyarzabal when they were together. That was one of the best young duos in La Liga at the time.
Yeah, what was it? That second goal for Spain that was just absolutely beautiful. You know what? I shouldn't even go into it because I can't remember the actual chronology of it. But that game was so fun to watch. I mean, both of these Nations League semifinals have been absolutely amazing to watch. And
there you go.
15 minutes into the final. So,
so like it's been really good to watch. And another like today. Like I saw a player that I have to mention again here, like Charles the Kettler. we mention him a lot here, and he deserves it because he scored against Donnarumma between the legs. Okay, did you see that? That was pretty nice. He come off the bench. Okay, came off the bench, Charles de Ketteler, and he scored between the legs to Donnarumma. So first goal for Belgium. Okay, pretty special in my opinion, and he played really well overall. I saw that match and he was really good against Italy.
Hey, maybe that Belgian golden generation is rebooting. It's getting back up there. You never know.
And it's with underrated talents too. Like for me, Doku and Charles de Ketteler are underrated compared to if we compare them to Sancho and Foden. People don't talk about them too much. So
well, speaking of not talking about somebody too much, this came across here in the United States, and I have to bring it up because it's so mind-blowing to me. Axel Kai, you don't know who he is. He's in the Real Salt Lake Academy, the academy that's given us Sebastian Soto, who a lot of people probably don't know, given us Richie Ledesma, who's coming back from injury at PSV. But okay, he made history by becoming the youngest ever to play a professional game in the United States. And you ready for his age? 13 years, 9 months, 9 days old.
What?
Yeah.
13.
And I'm
no.
He looks Lukaku's size when Lukaku was 13, maybe a little smaller, a lot more mobile too. But apparently from talking to a couple people that know firsthand and have seen him come up, he is the real deal. He's certainly somebody that we're now going to be watching because I am just mind.
Oh, you're hyped. You're hyped. I can see it in your voice. Oh, you're hyped. You're very hyped.
The thing I'm more worried about is this is a kid that's 13, right? Almost 14. Obviously doesn't look it. Nobody was really firing up Twitter back when Lukaku was, like 6'14". That's not I understand that that's not an actual height. But nobody was firing up Twitter back then. But we remember the Yusufa Mukoko. Oh, there's no way he's this age. There's no way. Well, this kid's going to get a massive, inundation of messages of all this saying, I want to see his birth certificate. So before we got to pump the brakes on him for sure, but definitely got to mention the milestone because 13 years old stepping on a professional field, that's ridiculous. That is just it's ridiculous in a couple ways, positive and negative, but we don't need to go any further than that.
That is ridiculous. Like 13.
Yeah.
Like that is ridiculous. So I just want to finalize like my last mention here in the European highlights.
Yeah.
And that is Armand Borja. Okay. Sure. Albanian Wonderkid. Okay. I have here. He's got 3 games, 3 goals, 1 assist in 91 minutes. Okay. Yeah. That is pretty insane. Okay. And this is another talent that Chelsea might get a really good profit on.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So wonderful to see, and watch him, guys. Watch him because these are good stats.
A little bit odd that he can't really find the field much for Southampton, but yet he has kept Albania's World Cup hopes very, very much alive. They're in second place right now. They have a very hard schedule moving forward, but Hungary, who obviously kind of captivated some of us in their play, and especially their Euro qualifying campaign. He is the boogeyman to Hungary. The game that happened a month ago against Hungary, he scored the game winner, late game winner, right? This game, 1-0 again, 1-0, whatever you want to call it. He scored the game winner. So Hungary is not very happy with Armando Broja, but you're absolutely right. Got to watch him. And I'm sorry, I didn't get the memo that this was only European. That I had to mention that U.S. one.
Sorry.
I got to stay in the U.S. and this will be my last one.
Okay.
You have to get on the train. Okay, it's the Ricardo Pepi train. All right, El Tren.
Preach. I mean, that.
He is 18 years old. He had another 2 goals for the U.S. in a win over Jamaica that now puts them at the top of the World Cup qualifying. They call it the octagonal here, 8 teams. But he's got 16 goals and 24 starts for club and country this year. And I mean, this emergence and ascendancy is actually so much bigger than just him scoring goals. And it's really nice to find a 9, right? Josie Altidore was like the closest thing we ever had to a really solid number 9, and he was a phenomenal player. Injuries hurt him, whatever. But his emergence is big because as a Mexican American, okay, as a Latino player, right, in the U.S. setup, obviously U.S. shares a very long border and a very long history with Mexico. We just lost 2 very good prospects, David Ochoa at goalkeeper and right back.
Julian Araújo, no?
Yes, yeah, and they both went to Mexico, and kudos to them because I as long as they never do well against the U.S. men's national team, I wish them nothing but the best. But Ricardo Pepi being the face, scoring goals, and being the guy that can hopefully usher in where we have more Mexican American players. I don't care if it's Colombian American. I don't care if it's, all over the place. This is a very big deal, and I hope it continues. But man, he's playing like a kid that is up for everything. And it was so cool to see, and I hope it continues versus Panama tonight.
There you go. That trio, I like it. Ricardo Pepi, Gio Reyna, Pulisic. Ooh. This is a pretty nice trio in years to come. Okay?
Oh my God, I can add more to that. So
there you go. There you go. Next topic. Because there was such a huge success last pod, and we said that we were gonna mention some comments, okay, with suggestions of start, bench, sell.
Yep.
Okay, we just gotta do it, right, Breton?
Yeah, we have to.
So who's the first 3 that we're gonna have? Start, bench, and sell.
All right, this one comes from Noah Leduc. Sorry if I butchered your last name. We're very good at that here at FC Wonderkid. But he gave us possibly the most impossible one to do. He gave us Pedri, Eduardo Camavinga, and Jude Bellingham.
So it relates to the Copa Trophy one, and that is a crazy start, bench, sell to start with. So I want to. You want me to start here?
Yeah. I'll throw you in the fire.
So, if we're going to ask in terms of ability right now, it's Pedri starting. But I don't want to go there. I want to go with personally who I would start.
Okay.
And I would start Jude Bellingham. Okay?
Whoa.
Because for me, Jude Bellingham is a more mature player than Camavinga and more mature player than Pedri right now. Okay? I'm saying it. At Birmingham, okay, Bellingham was being the top man in midfield, okay? Yep. And the truth is, Pep Guardiola says that I can't believe this kid is 17.
Yeah.
I can't believe this kid is 17. So if a coach like that is saying that, and with the ability he has, going against the City midfield, okay, I'm going with Jude Bellingham to start. Pedri, bench, okay? It's Pedri bench. I know it doesn't sound well, but because Bellingham starts, I got to put Pedri on the bench. Yeah. And I'm going to...
Yeah, my ears are offended. My ears are absolutely offended, but yes.
And I'm going to sell Camavinga. I don't want to... Camavinga is a great player, okay? Yep. But truth is, Bellingham and Pedri have proven more at the world's biggest stage than Camavinga. But I hope to see Camavinga balling in the future. And... okay, he's a piece in the rebuild, okay, of Real Madrid. He won't be leaving Real Madrid for sure in the next 3 years. Okay, he's going to stay there. And he's going to stay there in a Mbappe rebuild. Yeah. Okay, so Camavinga is a fantastic Galactico next to Valverde. Okay, that's...
Fair enough. I mean, it was a hard one to do. So you went with your heart. I don't know, but I got to throw this out here because this is why I started Pedri. I do believe that Pedri and Jude Bellingham are actually closer than most people think. But I also started thinking about it, and I'm like, do I not overrate, because I don't think Jude is overrated, but do I put more emphasis on Jude Bellingham because he speaks English, right? And, I haven't been able to delve in to the world of Pedri, right? He's also led Las Palmas before, it was fashionable to do so. No, just kidding. But he led Las Palmas and came to Barcelona and became indispensable, kind of like Jude at Dortmund, right? From Birmingham. And to do it amidst a massively turbulent time at Barcelona, and then to also do it as a semi-finalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
came in the Euros. I had Jude as starting, and then I switched, and I got Pedri as starting, benched Jude,
Okay.
and we're in agreement that Camavinga's got to go. No, just kidding. He's world-class player. I don't know. These are terrible. So thanks, Noah. The next
That was a
one.
pretty good one.
That was
This,
a good
we
one.
only have time for one more, Brutson.
Oh,
So
okay. So yeah, keep sending us these, because what we'll do is we'll try and do a couple maybe every episode, because they're fun. Okay, do you want to go English, or do you
Okay.
want to go like winger forward,
let's go
non-Wonderkid?
English.
Okay,
Let's
we're
go
going
English.
Okay. Jack Grealish, Mason Mount, Phil Foden from Jack Yare on YouTube.
That is a pretty difficult trio to pick with. Okay. I'm going to start here. And I don't want to say I rate these three extremely high. Okay. Yeah. Grealish, Mount, and Foden. But I am going to start Foden. And the reason why I start Foden is because who listens to this podcast knows I am faithful on him. Because in 10 to 15 years' time, I feel like anyone that's putting their words on Foden, you're going to be happy. Okay? Yeah. Because I really believe he's going to be in the same sentences as Lampard. Okay? As Gerrard. Okay? As Rooney. All those players. I feel like Foden is the one that'll be close to them. Okay? I'm not saying Grealish. Maybe if England was in European competitions in the next 8 years, it might happen, but I'm gonna start Foden, and two, because he was the first one to have double digits, okay, for Man City last season. That's the stat that I love to mention and has to be mentioned. And I feel like he's gonna be the icon of Guardiola's legacy at Man City, Phil Foden. Just like Kimmich is at Guardiola's legacy at Bayern, Foden is gonna be Guardiola's legacy at Man City. Yeah. I'm gonna bench Grealish, okay, because Grealish has the swagger. He's got it all. You can put him on the wing. You can put him on in a cam position. Yeah. Very nice player to have, and he can make a difference. And right now, like, it's debatable. I feel like he's the best player of the three right now. But I pick Foden because it's just that intangibles that I love. Sure. And unfortunately, I sell Mason Mount, okay? I wanted to say this. He's the one that has the best work rate out of the three. Mount is the player that would make more of a difference, but I don't feel like he's the better player. I feel like a manager would start him maybe ahead of Grealish, but because of that work rate. But in terms of right now, for a team like Man City, you pick Grealish ahead. So
yeah,
that was very hard.
It's a bit odd to have to sell a Ballon d'Or nominee, right, at the age of 22 years old.
That was very hard. Like, and it's that was very hard. Well, I love Mount. I love Mount.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat here. And in fact, I have the exact same picks, maybe for mildly different reasons. But this came. I don't know if the Jack's comment came before the game versus Andorra, and I do understand it was Andorra. But I'm starting Foden just from a recency effect type of situation. He was the best player on the pitch versus Andorra. With Mount, with Grealish in the same match day squad, he was starting Grealish and Mount. I think they came on, right?
Fair point.
They came on later.
Fair point.
So, who am I to go against Southgate? Who am I to go against Pep? But I do have to say, I really would like Pep's Manchester City youth building career to not just come down to Foden. I would love to see him develop at least one other or two others, but I don't know. We could talk about that till we're blue in the face, literally, like Manchester City blue in the face at a later date. But Foden, for sure, he's a game changer. I mean, all these guys are game changers in some respect. Jack Grealish, I don't think he's even settled in at City yet, frankly. No. I really don't think he's fully settled in, and I don't think he should be just yet. It's not an easy system to just be inserted into. Ask Bernardo Silva, right? Ask Bernardo Silva. Ask any one of these guys that has come in. You don't, get in right away. But he's impressive at picking out a pass. I mean, he just snakes through defenders most of the time. A lot of these guys do. Foden does particularly as well. The funny thing is, the statistic I'm going to drop here, is last year for Villa. I mean, those fouls suffered numbers. The guy takes a beating every game, right?
Yeah.
He had 110 fouls suffered last season. The next best, whatever that means, was like around 80. You know, he's 25%. Like, so if you divide that by how many games? 38 games. It's like he's getting butchered 3 times a game at least. You know, some of them are probably soft and floppy, but whatever. And then Sal Mount. It feels really weird saying that, just like it was with Mavinga. I love Mount. I just think from an edge perspective, from a no, I think that's right. Game-changing, difference-maker perspective, Grealish and Foden might have the edge.
Like, it's not too bold to say maybe we're going to be talking Mount Foden like we talk Lampard Gerrard in the future. That'd be really nice, right? Like, English, and it's not too bold to say. And Bellingham coming, like, it's, I don't know, like English fans, like the academies are there. Okay, you're bringing in the best talents to play against the best English players. You're going to improve them all. So
hey, maybe
I remember.
Maybe in 2026 we'll have Newcastle's first product.
Could be the case. You got the Longstaff brothers, okay? That's the start. That's the start. Investing in those two. So
I don't think it'll be them, but probably somebody that's coming up in the ranks. That I really hope that academy starts to flourish again. I do.
Yeah, there you go. So if there's any start, bench, sell guys that you really want to hear in the next pod, okay, put in the comment section down below, because we're gonna look at them, and yeah, if it's a really hard one, we're gonna put it on. So episode 25 here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. It's a huge help for you to like this video, okay? Like, it really helps us to grow. And if you could subscribe if you don't, that'd be awesome too. And yeah, there you go. Any last words, Breton?
No, but it's fun doing this, and even if you don't like us, like the post, you know, because then you can enjoy not liking us for longer.
There you go. Why would they like it? Oh, but that's a good way to end it up. So episode 25, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and that's it.
So long.